So thank you, Matthew, for joining me today. Uh, Perhaps you could start by just telling me a bit, telling me and everybody else just a bit about what you do.
So I'm a director of three companies. The first one is Raven Planning, which is a construction planning consultancy. The second company is Siente Alliance, and that's in a partnership with my business partner, and we offer a commercial and project management service, and that's also in the construction industry. And the third company is Bowerbird Properties, which is a sales and lettings company that I run with my fiance, Alexa.
Very good. So
Yeah.
so some of that's like it's all building related, but some of it's property investment, and some of
Yeah.
it's actually your professional services within that.
Yes.
So when you were looking for an accountant, what sort of problems were you trying to resolve?
So I think pretty my well, when I was starting my third company, Bowerbird, um, and the complexities of running an additional company in accounts, really. Obviously, I've been using the accountancy people since um, 6 years now, 6 7 years.
Is it right? Goodness, yeah, time
Yeah,
flies by.
and yeah, and I've obviously started Raven, and then I brought Siente in with my business partner, and then the third one was Bowerbird. And obviously, it's having those three companies running, um, and the complexities of that, and trying to manage my accounts. That's 100% why I need an accountant.
Yeah. So why? What was there a particular reason why you chose us back then?
So um, I had a bad experience with a previous accountant, which left me with a large unplanned tax bill.
It's always
Yes,
it's always double edged that with me because I'm saddened that that happens,
yeah,
but you sort of like you have a they're your competitors, but I just don't want that to happen to anybody, to be honest. Yeah,
yeah. So it was a
it's
bad experience, and I was in the market for a new accountant, and also an accountant closer to home, so Manchester. And I found the accountancy people on Google, and you had a good
okay.
rating. And from that, I obviously contacted probably yourself, and I had a first meeting with yourself in your Stockport office at the time. And yeah, you explained everything, the services you offer. I like the fact it was a fixed fee as well. That helped, so it's all wrapped up, and it's been good experience since then.
So what? So how's it been working for us? What's it been like to work with us?
I think talk about value. So the best value I get is probably from the easy access it is to senior management and yourself. Because I've got three companies, and especially with Bowerbird, bringing Bowerbird in, or starting Bowerbird, and any kind of complex questions and um, the accountancy management of that business were dealt with by yourself and with Abby. And it's always clearly explained, and especially in layman's terms as well, which helps.
Yeah, that's the secret is to know it well enough to, but you're a professional as well, so the secret is always to know it well enough that you can say it simply.
Yeah,
Because um, I always think that everything in accountancy is simple. But it's just when you put all the steps together that it's complicated. I think probably everything's a bit like that.
yeah. It's always been seen as a dark art for me. I always kept it at arm's length, but obviously now I feel more confident, especially more knowledgeable now, and the way you explained starting Bowerbird and what we needed to do was very helpful, and obviously with Alexa as well, she found it useful and gave us the confidence to go forward.
Yeah, cool, thank you. And is that the bit that you've enjoyed the most, or is there something else? Um,
I think, yeah, I think I would say that. I think starting Bowerbird because it's a company with obviously my partner Alexa, and having the confidence to start a business with our own money as well, really. So it has
yeah,
been, and it's been it's only started early this year, and a few teething problems. Sorry, but we're running up and running, and yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, cool. So I guess the impact in that is just in terms of your um, what I call family planning. Your family. We don't do family planning in that sense. For your financial family planning and sorting that out. I guess is part of that. But is that the main impact, or is there something else?
Say that again. Trying to.
So that's the impact of the effect of what we've been talking through. Is that what
And
is
a
the main
positive
impact?
impact. You
Yeah,
mean,
well,
yeah,
hopefully, yeah,
yeah, no, it is, but yeah, of course, it's been a positive impact. Yeah, because without kind of your advice, we wouldn't have started Barbird. So it wouldn't have, it would have just been an idea.
yeah,
And without the kind of meetings we had with yourself and bringing Alexa in and speaking to the family, yeah, we
yeah.
wouldn't have started.
And that's, I guess, I mean, in terms of what you've discovered, I mean, that's getting that knowledge together, I guess, and
Yeah, it's understanding because it wasn't, um, it was almost at one point is it going to be worthwhile, say bringing these properties into the company, um, and understanding the pros and cons and looking at a long-term plan really, because it was, if we were looking long-term,
mm,
so that's why we started
I think
Bowerbird. And
actually, I
that's and
think
that's
that's
the
actually,
that's the advice you gave as well. It was, look,
yeah.
what you give us options, which is always good, and that's what we took away and we discussed them, pros and cons, and because it is a long-term strategy, Bowerbird was the way forward.
I think that's with property. It's particularly difficult because it's there's a soup of information. Really, there's a of conflicting. You're dealing with a soup of different information that's changing because you want to hold a property for 20 years,
Mm,
and you want the tax and regulatory to be as simple as possible over those 20 years, but you don't know what the rules are going to be over the 20 years.
yeah,
And you don't know quite when you're going to sell it or anything like that. So it is, I think it is one of the more nuanced things to do. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so I think those are the main things. Is there, I mean, in terms of, I don't know whether I should ask it, but is there anything that we should be doing to improve, or how, as we evolve, we try and evolve by being more efficient and using the technology to bring efficiency to our clients? I don't know whether there's
Yeah, I think
anything you'd like to.
the online portal is very useful. Uh, so when you get a document, you can review it online, and you can or approve it, sign it online. That's a good service that you guys offer. I think things you can improve. Um, One example could be, I think sometimes I get an email from, say, um, um, one of the accountants, um, which may be maybe a standard information required email, where I know that Abby has got that information already. That could be
Oh
what
yeah, that's really hard, isn't it?
it
That's
is.
interesting, isn't it? Because you send it out to make sure you got everybody covered,
Yeah,
and then but then it's very difficult to register when you've already been sent it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
that's minor,
Um,
I suppose, because you're just
yeah.
trying to cover all bases.
Yeah, it's always difficult because we send out a certain amount of standard emails, and what we try to do is to make it obvious they're standard emails,
Yeah,
so that you don't mistake it for a personal email.
personal email. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
because we like the emails that I send out most weeks are deliberately look like they're standard emails, so they're not. This is not
Personal
personal
email.
advice. This is an update about accountancy.
Yeah, well, that's for in terms of your emails and your YouTube videos. There, I'd recommend people watch them for excellent resource for understanding the ever changing rules.
Yeah,
HMRC, it's understanding what's current.
yeah, it never ceases to amaze me how much they change. Um, constantly changing rules.
Yeah.
You'd have thought that they would try and keep them the same, but they feel that they have to change them all the time. But there we go. So, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, that was it. I was gonna highlight the
Yeah,
YouTube videos really as an excellent resource. I do watch them, and it's
good.
especially when they're applicable to me.
So great. Thank you for doing this,
No problem.
and thank you for joining today, and thank you for the nice words you said. So thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you for your excellent service.